Hello YouTube. So this video here, I watched a video done by Undoomed in regards to this person's channel, Ashley Mardell. Her video saying, "Hey, anti-feminists." So I'm going to do a quick response to that, and I decided to act a little bit more professional with a cute little bow tie and everything. So I hope you enjoy this video. Let's start.
This video is going to be a discussion with a friend interspliced with a beer and a chat.
I'm a non-binary trans woman, and I make YouTube videos about feminism and social justice and all sorts of stuff that interests me.
Okay, right off the bat, Riley Dennis here, who used to be Justin Dennis, has contradicted herself, basically saying that they are a non-binary individual by then saying they're a trans woman. So you're still within the binary, Riley. You're still technically born a man who's transitioning to a woman. The binary in the human race means girl, boy, male, female, man, woman. Okay, that is the binary.
I'm a non-binary trans woman. Non-binary.
Trans people are somewhat outside that binary, but they are still within that binary because they are transitioning between one to the other. Your identity is a woman. That is part of the binary. Like, already not even a few seconds, not even 20 seconds in, we are already having this awful debate.
Hopefully you think our conversation is interesting while my solo commentary clearly drives forward the points I'm trying to make.
I can't wait to hear what kind of points you have to make and how you're going to play the victim for it.
So this is a scary video to put out there. I predict that 2 hours after this video is posted, the ratings will be okay, but 2 weeks after it's up, and the ratings will not be so okay.
It's not a scary video. With you starting this off as it's a scary video, like, who's gonna be scared by it? Anti-feminists? Right.
What do you want?
I'm in the house. Do you know where I am? Where am I?
You're behind the couch.
What? How do you know that?
I can, see your feet.
And that's because there's a community out there on YouTube made up of viewers and creators who seem set on silencing anyone who talks about anything they deem too social justice-y.
Wrong. First off, you are now framing the narrative of your video saying that anti-feminists and non-feminists, when they make these response videos, when they make their own YouTube content, that they are silencing other YouTubers, social justice warriors or feminists or women or minorities. No, we are not silencing you. Actually, a lot of anti-feminists do support freedom of speech and freedom of expression. You having this content on YouTube means that, you know, we're not silencing you. You're already starting this on a bad footing, so keep going.
Kind of a specific group of YouTubers who are just known for, like, making angry response videos and kind of sending a lot of commenters to go to people's videos, feminist videos, to dislike them and comment and just, like, destroy their ratings, basically.
I will destroy you! Ah!
Position number 2, wrong as well. Ladies and gentlemen, like, we do not promote our followers or subscribers to go to these feminist channels to cause havoc or to send hate speech or anything. We are not suggesting it. I certainly don't suggest it. I do not control the actions of my followers, okay? I control my content. My content is social and political identity politics, viewpoints, my own personal take on it. Like, I'm part of a minority group as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I will get some followers from your feminist videos who might see my response videos and probably do the same thing. Bring it on. I don't care.
Oh, it's already been rotten.
All right? Because I understand that the internet is full of a diverse amount of people, both well-intended people, great people, naive people, and yes, some internet trolls. There will be people who disagree with the things I have to say. That doesn't mean that it's automatically hate speech. To all you feminists out there and SJWs like Ashley here and Riley, has it ever crossed your mind that possibly you're getting a lot of dislikes or a lot of negative ratings is because your video content is retarded? A lot of it is dealing with social justice issues which don't co-align with what reality is right now. And a lot of people are starting to get fed up with people like you. That's why you're getting these people badgering you and leaving nasty comments, because it's what your content is. We are not telling them to go out and badger you. They're doing it on their own free will.
It's almost like there's a threshold for them of social justice issues that are all right to discuss and support. There's general LGBT rights, sometimes binary trans identities like trans men and trans women, sometimes mental health advocacy, but anything above that threshold, like rape culture, trigger warnings, privilege, non-binary genders, Black Lives Matter, and definitely feminism are not okay in the slightest to these people.
All right. So let's go through these lists of thresholds that Ashley brings up here. 1 point at a time.
There's general LGBT rights.
So, general LGBT issues with rights. Well, I'm part of this community and I have a right to speak about such things, both the positive and the negative aspects of it. There are really good gay people who don't follow the gay agenda, such as myself. I don't believe in the fact that gays deserve special treatment when we claim that we want to be equal to heterosexual people. So, like, yes, the representation and fight for LGBT people is necessary, but done in the right way. If you do so, and we've gained a lot of these rights, such as legalized gay marriage in America, those are very positive attributes to the progression of human society. But when you have gay people, a lesbian couple, suing a Christian bakery for not making them a fucking wedding cake, that gay couple was imposing their beliefs onto another couple and their beliefs. So they're stomping on it, thinking that they have the right to do so. I don't believe in that. I didn't believe in it. And you know what I would have done if I went there to that Christian bakery with my partner asking for a gay cake? If they replied, sorry, we don't do that because we don't believe in homosexuality, I would have left, not given them my business, and gone to a bakery that would have accommodated my needs.
Oh, God. Coconut.
Your rights and feelings do not stomp on the rights of others.
Sometimes binary trans identities like trans men and trans women.
Binary trans identities. Sometimes. A lot of trans people are coming forward now, people transitioning between male and female, female and male. So a lot of this is, I believe, necessary. I do have a few trans friends, and I know a few trans people who are dealing with personal issues in regards to transitioning. Some of them are starting younger, others are starting later in life. So it's just a new topic, and I find that a lot of people are interested in it, and if they can tackle it from a very scientific approach or a very civil, organized approach, I believe that is necessary. But people like you and people like Riley here are known as trans trenders who are just doing it to get attention. And that to me is just, that's not cool at all. Come on, guys.
And sometimes mental health.
Mental health advocacy. So obviously we've been dealing with a lot of psychology of human beings, depression, suicidal thoughts. So these in itself are really good topics to tackle because a lot of people have these issues that they are trying to get through. A lot of people will reach forward to others who can relate to them, who share same stories or same experiences. I am not against any of this. If there's a channel on YouTube, somebody who would like to discuss mental health issues, preventing suicidal thoughts for people, or reaching out for help groups, that is a necessary thing. All right, so there's nothing wrong with that, and I don't think anti-feminists are strictly against these things.
But anything above that threshold, like rape culture.
Rape culture does not exist in the West. You guys think it does, but it doesn't. You increase statistics only suggesting that women are the victims of rape culture when there's evidence showing that men and boys are suffering from sexual molestation and rape by women, by the way. So just because rape does exist, that doesn't mean that our culture is a rape culture. I mean, certain individuals murder others. Does that mean we have a murder culture? Just because some people steal other people's property, does that mean we have a thief culture? Your understanding of rape culture is just so out of whack and so illogical, so we question that. I do not believe in a rape culture in the West, all right? That's why we argue against it.
Trigger warnings.
Trigger warnings. Good old trigger warnings. Trigger warnings is just a way to coddle people, to treat them like children. Also, sometimes having trigger warnings will be used in a way to constrict somebody's involvement in the dialogue. You use it as a form of censorship to shut down other people's contribution to the dialogue. And that's just not cool. Like, trigger warnings at university level post-secondary education, we can't treat growing adults as children. You were lowering the bar in regards to healthy healing of people's issues and problems. So fuck trigger warnings.
It's privilege.
Ah, yes, privilege. I'm surprised you didn't actually emphasize on white privilege, because that's always what's being attacked by you feminists. Privileges come in many shapes and forms. Okay? A lot of people have different forms of privileges. Okay? Like, you can't just categorize a group of people, aka white people, as being the most privileged. Okay? There is such a thing as white privilege, but there is such a thing as black privilege. There's such a thing as Hispanic privilege. There's male privilege. There's female privilege. There's gay privilege. I just showed you an example of it with that lesbian couple suing the bakery. That is a privilege. They had the right of law on their hands to officially sue somebody for their hurt feelings. That's a privilege. All right? So privilege comes in many shapes and forms, and you guys attack it as only having selected groups of people who have it and others who don't. Have-nots and the haves. Like, your understanding of it is so illogical. It's illogical.
Non-binary genders.
Non-binary genders. Does that include the 74 genders that you think exist? I'm sorry to tell you this, and it's gotta hurt your feelings, but there are only two genders, male and female. All right? That is stemmed from our biology. It's called sexual dimorphism. Look it up.
Black Lives Matter.
Fuck Black Lives Matter. They are racist, crybaby, bully assholes. So Black Lives Matter movement, as you can see with a lot of video montage about their peaceful protests, they've been aggressive. They want the death of cops. Like, they only focus on protecting thugs and criminals and not so much other black people within their black community who are suffering at larger numbers. Black Lives Matter would have been a great movement if they weren't so aggressive. They hate white people. They blame all white people, and especially white cops. And any black person who speaks out against this racist bullying group are labeled as Uncle Toms or coons. You're victimizing yourselves in a way that is aggressive and projecting your own insecurities onto other people. There's a lot of other factors that contribute to the problems that black people are facing. And I would love to hear from them in a civil manner. But if they already label me as a racist simply for the color of my skin, like, I'm not going to pay attention to you. I'm not going to listen. Sorry.
And definitely feminism.
Oh yeah, and feminism. That cult. I think it speaks for itself.
Now, every individual in this community is slightly different. I want to acknowledge that before we continue. There will, of course, be exceptions to the things I'm about to say, and I don't want you to watch this video and then go on making sweeping generalizations, lumping people in this category and thinking everyone in it is one certain type of way. That's not the case.
Much like you are making sweeping generalizations of how anti-feminists are?
These people.
So, let me guess. Is this a privilege that you have where you can get away with this behavior, but nobody else can?
For the sake of communication, I'll give this community a name. We'll call them anti-feminists.
Or, you know, men's rights activists, MGTOW, egalitarians like myself, women against feminism, people who don't give a shit. You know, there's a lot that you can actually name these people, but you choose anti-feminists. And I'm pretty sure you got to think that since in your perspective, feminism equals equality, and anybody who's anti-feminist don't believe in equality. I just can't wait to hear what you have to say.
This is simply because while all their views differ slightly, a vast majority of them seem to have a major opposition to feminism, so anti-feminists it is.
Yes, because it's not about equality. But you all think it is about equality without looking at the background or the strings being pulled by the higher ups of feminists. You don't look at this, and we are trying to tell you by showcasing these facts, and you completely ignore it. That's why we don't like feminism. It hurts more people than it actually heals.
Now, the real problem I have with the anti-feminist community isn't their views. I mean, their views bum me out, but there will always be people whose views bum me out. That's inevitable. The thing I really dislike about anti-feminists on YouTube is how strongly they advocate for freedom of speech, yet seem determined on silencing anyone they disagree with. And they go out of their way to do it.
Again, fallacy. None of us are trying to silence you. Okay? We're actually trying to invoke a lot of discussions and dialogue, and we would love to debate you on a even platform, but a lot of you who are scaredy cats tend to either shut down your commentary, destroy the dislikes and likes button on your videos. You are the ones literally cutting out people from having this dialogue. What are you afraid of, huh? Having your ideology questioned?
They actively search for social justice advocates and then make videos devoted to ridiculing specific people. And it's my opinion, their critiques tend to be more condescending than constructive.
Right, so you're the leading expert about what condescending means, correct? You're making this way too easy, sweetheart.
I feel like they pride themselves on it being a very logical,
Yes.
rational community.
Oh my god.
Well, what do you say to that then? Do you think they are, in fact, as logical and rational as they claim to be?
Absolutely not.
Oh, I know. Logic and rationality. The two things that feminists are allergic to. Achoo!
So, my problem with this is that a lot of times they're atheist channels.
I'm actually agnostic. Does that fit in your narrative at all?
It is largely like atheists who are like, I'm so logical and I am perfect and everything that I say is objective.
Said every feminist ever.
And that's obviously not true, but they try to pass themselves off that way. Like, their comments are always, this is illogical, and you don't know what you're talking about, and trying to discredit you and saying that they're objective, when they don't recognize that every person has a bias, every person has a perspective. Even I try to acknowledge my own biases, my own perspectives in my videos.
Do you, Riley? Do you? Well, you gotta give kudos to her for actually admitting that everybody has a bias and a personal perspective on things. So, you know, there's a little grain of truth to that. A little gold nugget in the head full of rainbow glitter.
And the videos they make implicitly encourage their audience to go over to their target's channel and harass them.
Wrong. You are wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. Go fuck yourself. Wrong, wrong, wrong.
Their audience bombards the social justice advocates' ratings with dislikes. Many people have bragged to me in the comments about how they made multiple accounts, dozens of accounts, just so they could dislike my content several times.
Well, no offense. If this is becoming a problem for you and causing a lot of stress, why don't you just get off of YouTube? Or ignore the haters. Understand that when you become more popular on a social media outlet such as YouTube, based off your content, you're gonna get a lot of both positive and negative reactions. Like, I'm expecting this if I become popular. Hopefully I do. But I will understand that there will be people who disagree with my content. I will do my best to talk with them through in a non-heated debate and try to use as much facts and objectifiable truth as I can to support my subjective perspective. Like, what, you assume that you would only get positive reinforcement and no negative? What world do you live in?
And it's important to note that lots of these anti-feminist YouTubers have real power and armies of hundreds of thousands of people behind them.
You think YouTubers have armies? Okay, well, I'm a YouTuber and I'm kind of new to this. Where's my army? Where's my little army of minions where I can tell them what to do and go out and foil your do-gooder plans and destroy you with everything that I have.
I will destroy you!
Wow. Take a good hard look about what you just said. Self-reflection. That's my diagnosis for you.
How much power does this community have?
Yeah, so it really depends. There are some who are very large YouTubers with a lot of influence that lots of people follow. And if they decide to target someone, especially a smaller person, it can bury them in the amount of dislikes and comments and things like that. But there are smaller people who make response videos, and their impact isn't quite as big because it's like any YouTube community. Even if it's, I would say, a negative one, it has a wide range of YouTubers with different levels of influence in it, basically.
Yes, the underdog scenario. I find that a lot of human beings do tend to support who we define as the underdog. You'll see this in sports teams. For people who don't follow sports, they usually root for the underdog or the home team. So a lot of feminists and SJWs will probably already see themselves as like the underdog or the victims. So any disagreement headed towards their way, we should support them because they're a minority, or they're black, or they're gay, or they're trannies. Like, okay, just because you are part of a minority group doesn't mean you are automatically victims. It doesn't mean that you are underdogs. I would hope that if I were to deal with a lot of harassment towards one of my videos, that I have the balls enough to stand up for myself because I don't expect other people to come in to protect me. I wonder if that's a white male privilege thing.
I've personally been specifically targeted by anti-feminists with millions of subscribers.
Millions of subscribers?
Bad news. Wait for it. 3, 2, 1.
I know I really shouldn't be making fun of you. I know that your intent is to actually bring awareness to this, but right now you're sounding so much like a whiny SJW. Sorry.
When somebody with that much social influence goes out of their way to talk about just how dumb they think you are, it's scary.
It's scary. Is that a phobia now? When you can't handle a little bit of criticism, or you can't handle a little bit of words headed your way? Now, I do get that getting graded on a daily basis will have some effect on you, and I'm sorry that that happens, but maybe, as I suggested, do some self-reflection and take a look at your content. Maybe, just maybe, you are the problem. Have you thought about that?
And the ramifications of their choice to do this are serious. As a direct result, my comment sections have become filled with threats, violence, and hate speech.
Examples?
And you can't say they are simply exercising their right to disagree with me. It goes far beyond that. These kinds of audiences have even given themselves a name. They call themselves attack helicopters.
That's the what a Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
You don't actually get that. And that's what's really cute about this. People are now starting to use this as a means to make fun of transgender people. I identify as an attack helicopter. Respect my pronouns. Now, I'm okay with transgender people. I really am. I will respect them so long as they are not self-victimizing themselves or think that they deserve special treatment simply because of, you know, label A or label B, whatever. But the reason why we do this is to poke fun at you, okay? Because this is what you sound like. Like, you need to respect my label. You have to use my pronouns. No, we fucking don't. No, we fucking don't. All right? Now, we use this as a counterattack for that kind of situation. So the fact that you're taking this seriously as some form of assault, get it? Assault for attack helicopters? It's laughable. It is so laughable. All right? They're just words, sweetheart. Okay? I identify as a rainbow unicorn. There was another video with a feminist identifying as gray gender.
It's Grace. I'm a Gemini, and my pronouns are she, her, they, them, and I identify as gray gender.
That's right, people. The color gray is now a gender. Where's my gun? I just I just want to shoot myself. Just right here. Right here.
I understand that their actions aren't face-to-face, their attacks are just over the internet, but it's still harassment.
Well, if it's harassment, and if it's getting that bad, say your life is being threatened, or they're threatening to dox you and some family members, take it to the cops. Stop making these little response videos and do something.
Prove it to you. Comments I get on my Everything Gender video, a project frequently targeted by anti-feminists, go as follows. Trigger warning, incredibly graphic, and derogatory language up next.
Trigger warning. Honey, we've been over this.
Am I the only one who would happily gun down any of the mentally challenged cunts featured in this video?
I'm surprised you even said the word cunt. Wait, what? That wasn't erotica? Well, this is awkward.
If I had a bullet for every gender there was, I'd only need a double-barrel shotgun.
See, that's a joke, implying that there's only 2 genders. So he would only need 2. Because there's 2 genders. 2.
I need to learn to tie a noose.
Ooh, that's a bit dark, but I'm a fan of dark humor. I'm a Disney kid.
Have you had any personal contact with the anti-social justice community?
I have had people make response videos to mine with not the nicest language in them.
I think I've made about 2 or 3 response videos. First when you were back as known as Justin, and then when you switched your name over to Riley. And if you're interested in those videos, I suggest you go watch it in my video channel there, so.
That does send people to my videos, and that's kind of been my experience with them, is just I wake up in the morning and there's 100 comments telling me to kill myself, and that's really the extent of my experience with them.
And Riley, I'm sorry that's the case, and I really wish they didn't do that, but kind of kill yourself is this new trend online, basically for everyone who just doesn't get it or you just don't give a shit. Brush it off, Riley, brush it off. God, grow a backbone, will you?
I try to avoid watching the response videos.
Good for you!
Do you watch them? If they're
I can't help it. If there's
Really?
one about me.
You can't help it. So I guess since I'm making a response video, you're going to be paying attention to me? Are you going to send your followers over to harass me and dislike my videos?
Like, that's what I was worried about, is if I watch it, it's like I'm giving them views, I'm giving them watch time, I'm kind of validating that what they're doing is an okay thing, that like people are going to watch.
But you're perfectly okay with people viewing your content and having no criticisms on it, nobody disagreeing with it, so long as you get the views, you get the thumbs up, and you get the money. That's not how that works, Riley. Come on, use your brain.
Now, I imagine anti-feminist creators who see this video will say they are not responsible for the actions of their audience.
True.
This seems like a huge cop-out to me.
Seems like a huge cop-out. Or is it the fact that that's the honest truth of it and you don't like it?
Your audience certainly isn't literally controlled by you. You're not in their home forcing their hand, but we've seen this pattern for years now.
I am working on it, though. I promise you, I have a schedule and everything. I have a book for it. How to Destroy Feminists. A memoir by JC.
An anti-feminist makes a targeting video and their audience goes over in droves trying to destroy the target. That's just what happens.
Okay. Let me make this perfectly clear for you, Ashley. We do not control the subscribers or the followers and their actions. That would imply that we have all controlling power over their actions. That we go into their rooms at night and we plant little notes with a massive brain power and tell them to go harass you. Since that is highly unlikely, therefore they are responsible for their own actions. If any of my followers go to harass you, I am not supporting of that. I hope that they don't do that, and I hope that they actually treat you and me and anybody else with respect. But I don't control people. What you're talking about is literally like thought policing and controlling others' minds. That's retarded. Literally retarded.
That's where anti-feminists and I differ. If my audience went over and virtually attacked another creator because of things I said, I'd be pissed. Maybe I'm an idealist, but I'd like to hope we can live in a world where we disagree, but instead of having our audiences fight the fight for us, we can open our ears and minds and listen, learn, and discuss.
Yes, please open your ears when we're telling you that your ideas and your content on YouTube is questionable. It is in a realm of illogical arguments with little to no evidence besides anecdotal, and we are getting pissed about it.
I don't want to just complain, so I'll offer some solutions. I think we can work towards a better future by doing two things. When I say we, I mean everyone, feminists and anti-feminists. All people.
Oh, including the anti-feminists, women against feminism, MRAs, egalitarians, MGTOW? I can't wait to hear what your solutions are.
Number 1, explicitly tell your audience that you don't condone them attacking people you disagree with.
I explicitly tell my audience, my followers and subscribers, to not attack other people's channels, YouTube videos, or their points of views. There. Are you happy now?
Number 2, make videos responding to larger issues rather than specific people.
And we do. Thanks for your permission, though.
Why go to all the trouble of finding someone who talks about these things just to mock them?
It's fucking fun. Jesus. I hope somebody takes the piss out of me one day. Wouldn't that be great if, like, Shoe on Head or Undoomed or Sargon actually used my video as a means to make fun of me? I wonder if that will work.
Is it because it's more entertaining? Do you think it'll get more views?
Yep.
Because if so, that just makes me feel like you're capitalizing on making fun of people.
Yep.
You've turned mocking others into a money-making business.
And you don't?
To me, that's gross.
Ew. Boy cooties.
I just don't respect that.
I'm so glad you don't respect that. Hurdy-dur.
I think they have a very set values that they adhere to very strongly and like identify with very strongly, that, you know, there's no wage gap and trans people don't exist and stuff like that, and they want to defend those ideals, and they know that if they do it in this very inflammatory and aggressive way, that they will get views.
First off, there is no gender wage gap. That has been debunked. It is a myth, okay? What feminists and SJWs such as yourself mistake as a gender wage gap is in fact an earnings gap. On average, all female-dominated jobs are pitted against all male-dominated jobs. This fact alone, basically where men work longer hours, they work longer, they work harder. Based off these hours, men will make a lot more money on average. Women, on the other hand, will choose safer type environment jobs such as psychology, teaching, nursing, daycare. You know, that's fine. There's no, it's not valued any less because it is important jobs. But if you gravitate towards those positions, they will pay less, and women tend to work more part-time or less hours by taking more vacation or maternity leave time. So based off this factor alone, the amount of hours worked, men will make more money. For fuck's sakes, this myth has been debunked. Move on.
They want to defend those ideals, and they know that if they do it in this very inflammatory and aggressive way, that they will get views, and that there are people who will resonate with that. And they've learned to exploit that and to use it to, like, help them get more popular.
You're doing the exact same thing, so how are you guys any different? Jesus Christ.
How do you handle it when you do get a wave of hatred that comes to you after they've targeted you?
Oh my god, you guys are not that fucking special. It's YouTube. It's free range, okay? God, either brush off the haters, ignore them, or do what Riley does. Don't even look at the response videos because he knows she will be stressed about it. Like, grow a fucking spine. YouTube is not your whole world, okay? It's not all your life, okay? There's an outside. Go out.
Honestly, it's still a thing that I'm trying to figure out how to cope with. And a large part of my response has been to just stop looking at the comments.
Your problems are first world problems. Get over it.
I haven't looked at my comments in a couple weeks. When I post a video, I'll look at the comments immediately afterwards because I know that the people who are watching the video immediately, it's just the people, my normal audience, who wants to see the stuff. And then it takes the trolls, I don't want to call them trolls, but
you just called them trolls, so kind of redundant.
The hateful people a few days to find my video and start making comments like that. So I can respond to things quickly, but I don't check all of my comments like I used to. And I'm not sure if that's the best way to be dealing with things. I don't know. I want to be checking my comments, and I know there's an argument for disabling your comments to not give them that opportunity.
Yeah, but what does that say about the YouTubers themselves who disable comments, who disable likes and dislikes, and any types of ratings? If you do so, I believe, in my opinion, that is a very cowardly thing to do. One person who's famous for that is Anita Sarkeesian, who likes to make all these claims about how video games are sexist towards women. Durr. But the fact is that a lot of YouTubers have proven her wrong, and some even have tried to have civil discussions with her and how wrong she is, but by her disabling comments, she just shuts down the other opposition to these dialogues. Like, she is in fact a coward and a con artist. Nobody with any sane brain should listen to Anita Sarkeesian.
Yeah, it feels like YouTube has rules in the terms of service against harassment and bullying and stuff like that, and yet channels are allowed to thrive that are just built on harassment and bullying.
Ooh, it's the YouTube conspiracy. They're out trying to get you all. They want to have all these anti-feminists and their YouTube channels send their little minions out to harass you and send death threats because that's the fucking internet. Nope, it's a YouTube conspiracy because you are the one and only important person in the entire world and the universe revolves around you. Everyone's out to get you. Ooh. Do you even hear yourself?
So those are my thoughts. I look forward to the inevitable video responses specifically targeting me to come.
She said a sex joke. To come.
And for those of you about to ask, no, I will not participate in a live debate with you.
Oh, well, how very mature of you. So you are acting like every typical feminist in SJW who lays out their argument, who lays out their point of views, and then shuts down or refuses to debate. What are you, a fucking child? Yeah, it's either your way or the highway. Very open-minded of you, isn't it?
I have a full-time job, a family, and frankly, better things to do than engage with the 100 people who want to argue with me over Skype.
And yet you're still making this content on YouTube.
However, I am genuinely interested in your constructive thoughts, whether you disagree with me or agree with me, so please let me know them in the comments below.
Yeah, but some of those previous comments who you deemed as harassment weren't really harassment, so if I respectfully respond to you and then call you an idiot at the end, are you just gonna label that as harassment and totally shut me down? Like...
Okay, bye!
Okay, bye!
Killed it! Nailed it!
Smashed it!
Follow me on Twitter!
No! Ding-a-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding. If I get that jingle stuck in my head, I'm gonna send my followers over to you so bad...
I will destroy you!
Well, that was a weird video. Alright guys, so here's my 2 cents. Feminists such as Ashley here and Riley, who don't really understand their labels and they just overgeneralize other people and label them as such without even respecting their pronouns, go figure. Like, people need to understand that YouTube is a social media outlet for people to make videos, to make whatever content they wish. Some of them will be more interactive, some of them will be more artsy, and some of them will be social commentary on very important issues, such as feminism, equality rights, civil movements, racism, homophobia, and homosexual issues, all that jazz, right? That is my choice. I choose that as my content, okay? So things that are a little bit more touchy or heavily weighted topics will, of course, give different types of responses. I am aware that there will be some negative responses and some positive responses, and then some kind of neutral ones, all right? I'm pretty stable in my life and pretty accepting of who I am as a human being, my accomplishments and my flaws, to be able to take whatever is thrown at me, okay? I'm actually looking forward to it. I hope in the future that if there are people who would like to debate me in regards to some of my ideas and how I see the world, please contact me. I would love to try and have an open discussion about such things and see where we come from. And what I find in regards to Ashley's video here is that a lot of feminists think that they are 100% right in everything that they talk about in regards to gender equality and equal rights and all that other shit. Like, you can't just go into the world thinking that you are 100% right and not open yourself up to the possibility of being wrong. That that expresses narrow-mindedness and a form of narcissism. You are not the center of the universe, okay? The world does not revolve around you, okay? And I've spoken about this before, where if you label as something, let's say a transgender or, you know, a gay guy or whatever, that's not the only thing that should define you. And when you go out and spew out all this garble that your gender studies course has been teaching you in post-secondary level education, which is now fucking dripping down into our elementary level of schooling, which I think is terrible. Like, you have to be aware that there is the real world of adults, of people who will disagree and say no to you, versus the safe spaces, the coddling, and the trigger warning, happy places, echo chambers that you crawled out of, okay? The real world doesn't cater to your feelings. They don't give a shit, okay? Especially the internet, because that's where you'll find a lot of people, a lot of diverse people, having diverse opinions on things, and that's where you get a lot of traffic, a lot of harassment, as you feminists like to call it. Just because we disagree with you doesn't mean we're harassing you. It doesn't mean we hate you. It just means that we are trying to get down to the truth, okay? And the truth is, you're delusional. So anyway, guys, I don't know why I did this one. I just wanted to kind of tackle it and find that it's utterly ridiculous when they make these videos broadcasting that they don't want to make response videos or they won't reply to response videos, and yet they still do these videos. Like, they're hypocritical and they're delusional and their arguments are very illogical. So take it as you will. All right, guys, if you like that video, like and subscribe. You know the drill, and I will see you all next time. Maybe with a cuter, different bow tie. All right, take care of one another. Bye, guys.